How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out the work week. Maybe you had maybe you had a stressful day. Maybe it was the market conditions. Well, you're here to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. So here it comes. What do you call a pig that does karate? Pork chops. It was corny. You probably saw it coming as well. So we're going to be talking about SOS, and you already know the news that I dropped in a YouTube post today that came out earlier this morning in regards to them getting power plants in North America, in the United States. Again, this adds even more to the legitimacy of the company, but I will be going into more details when I do cover the article that goes over it even further. But I want to give you guys the agenda before we continue. So the agenda for today, we're going to be going over the article. We're also going to be doing a technical analysis. By knowing all of these things, I think it's great, especially if you are a shareholder, or maybe you might be interested in investing in SOS as well. One thing we need to be aware of is Bitcoin. I love the price action that I am seeing. It's continuing to consolidate and build support in that high 50 area, 59K to be exact. Also saw it getting comfortable in that 60K area as well. So this is definitely good to see, especially since we have the Coinbase IPO that's going to be coming this week. I want to see if there's going to be any of an impact whatsoever. But we also got to be aware of the market conditions, because hey, if mother market is not feeling the greatest, it's definitely going to be reflected in the stocks that we have, and that's definitely what we ended up seeing today. So I won't be taking up any more of your time. Let's get into those videos, and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts afterwards. So we're now on Yahoo Finance, and we're going to go over the recent news that came out for SOS. So SOS Limited enters into a non-binding letter of intent to acquire the majority equity interest of 3 US-based power plants, aiming to expand its crypto mining operations into North America. So this article came out today at 9 a.m. and as you can see, hey, this is the most recent. I also put this up on my YouTube, I guess community post you can call it, but let's get into it. SOS, an emerging blockchain-based and big data-driven marketing solution provider, announced today that SOS Information Technology New York, Inc., a wholly owned subsidiary of the company, has entered into a non-binding letter of intent to acquire the majority of the equity interests of each of the 3 US-based power plants for its planned crypto mining operations in North America. Pursuant to the terms of the letter of intent, the company intends to acquire more than 51% of the membership interests of Sherman Development LLC, Niagara Development LLC, and Park Falls Management LLC. Sherman Development LLC's recycling power plant in Stacyville has claimed a capacity of 24 MW. Niagara Development LLC's hydropower plant in Niagara, WI, has a claimed capacity of 9 MW, and Park Falls Management LLC's natural gas power plant in Park Falls, WI, has a claimed capacity of 20 MW. As the transaction proceeds, the company will publicly disclose additional information through press releases or SEC filings as appropriate. Once the company completes a feasibility study and earnings analysis and receives board approval, it intends to build a U.S. digital mining site to host SOS mining operations and potentially other miners. If and when the site operations get underway, the company anticipates it will create significant job opportunities in the U.S. SOS chairman Yang Dang Wang commented, "We have been looking for investment opportunities in the United States. The acquisition of this power plant is the first step for SOS to officially enter the American market. We will continue to increase the investment and construction of cryptocurrency computing center in the United States and devote ourselves to bring better performance to the company. Completion of the transaction is subject to due diligence investigations by relevant parties. The negotiation and execution of a definitive purchase agreement, satisfaction of the conditions negotiated therein, including the approval of the company's board of directors, approval by the New York Stock Exchange of the issuance of shares to be issued in connection with the acquisition, and the satisfaction of other additional customary closing conditions." So this is what I wanted to share with you guys. I think this is huge for SOS because, again, having a footprint in North America just adds even more to their legitimacy and will give a lot of shareholders confidence in actually considering SOS as an investment. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis on SOS. So the chart you see in front of you is the 5-day, 5-minute chart. And we're going to be also taking a look at the 3-month chart just to take a look and see how those support levels have been holding up, seeing those resistance levels, and seeing the type of price action that we want to be looking forward to going forward. So we could see right now on the day it ended up closing at $5.02, being down 4.38%. When we see the low, it ended up testing $4.84, you can see over here, and ended up reaching a high of $5.86, which we literally saw inside the morning sessions. So one thing right away that we could see, we definitely held some support here at this $4.90 level. When it did end up breaking, it did a great job recovering very quickly. We know that the news ended up dropping. That's part of the reasons why we see a strong spike here, but we ended up challenging that $5.86 level. This is also an area of resistance to keep in mind, but one thing is that we do know on this channel, resistance does become a support level, and this has been shown at this $5.80 area to be an area of support in the past. So again, this all is going to be coming down to volume, demand, and the market conditions. If we take a look at the indicators, we look at the 200-day, the 100-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. One thing that we noticed right away, it closed above the 21-day, but it's still below the 200-day and the 100-day, which you could see right here. So just taking that into consideration, there's still some more room for SOS to make some upside movement, but we're going to actually extend out the chart to show you some possibilities of what can happen depending on what happens in the market this week. So let's just go to the 3-month chart. So here we're at the 3-month chart. So what we want to take a look at, we see right here, we have an area of support at $4.20. Let's just call that $4.30 to be exact. So at this $4.30 level, $30.20, just call it that. It's definitely one of those areas where you want to look out for if it ends up pulling back even further. If it does, I would not be surprised because, again, if these market conditions continue, a lot of stocks are going to pull back and SOS will not be immune to this. Now, the next level that you'd want to look out for is also right here around $3.80. So if it pulls back even that far, just know, have a game plan in place, have a strategy. So if we take a look at the resistance areas, and like I was mentioning before previously, also in the last video, this 540 and this 550 area are definitely areas where once we're able to get past it, we can see a strong move. And that's part of the reasons why we were able to get up to highs of $5.86 when we passed these particular levels. And if we take a look, you can see on this 3-month as well, we're still below the 200-day and the 100-day. But hey, I am good with that because we already know there's a lot of manipulation in this stock. And from the news that we got today, it does show that this stock is legitimate. SOS is making some moves in order to grow the business, and that's why what we're seeing right now, these are opportunities. If you are interested, look at this as an opportunity. If you are not, then hey, the stock is not for you. And if we take a look even down here below at the RSI, it's currently standing here at around 39. So 39 is actually fairly good. We know anything 30 and below is very cheap. We're getting it really good, and the fact it's still in the 30s, we're still getting it at a good price because we already know that 50 is fair value. So I'm definitely looking forward to see how this week continues, especially with the Coinbase IPO that's going to be coming this week and so forth. So yeah, let's see what happens. So for my final thoughts for SOS, this is exactly what you want to see as a shareholder. I also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. So when you do invest, just know that you're doing it at your own risk. I see SOS has a good amount of medium to long-term potential in this stock. So for anyone who's interested or they're considering building out a position, hey, you might be able to see an opportunity, especially what I covered in the technical analysis. One thing to be prepared for, hey, you might end up seeing even more pullbacks. And if you're interested, it's just another way to either bring your average cost down or actually get in at a really good price. Because I do believe, especially you guys know I have high conviction that Bitcoin is going to be hitting 100K before the end of this year, then SOS is definitely going to benefit from this. In regards to the lawsuits, I've been telling you guys this is BS. That's why I don't even bother addressing on this channel, because I'm not trying to give any of these law firms any attention whatsoever. In regards to the short reports, Hindenburg, we already know they all have their own ulterior motives. They make money when people panic sell. You need to remember this. You need to know this. Even in the market conditions that we saw today, a lot of people just ended up selling. They're like, hey, I don't want to be in this, because again, the price got driven down a lot. But the ones who know what's going on behind the scenes, or the ones who are confident investors and shareholders, see it as buying opportunities. They just see, hey, this thing happens in the market, it's going to be up. So if you don't have that kind of conviction, then you shouldn't be in this stock in the first place. You got to understand, SOS is making a lot of moves, focusing on big data. We already know how big that is in general. Supercomputing, pretty much working with Rong He, working with the Chinese. Like, they just have so many. There's just a laundry list of things happening. And then on top of that, we still have some more catalysts, getting updates in regards to some more mining machines that they're getting. Like I can literally just go down a laundry list of things. But at the end of the day, if you do not believe in this company, then do not invest in this company whatsoever, because you're not going to be prepared for the volatility that comes with it. Because if you're putting in money that you're afraid to lose, then don't even bother. You got to be able to say, hey, I'm going to invest in this company because I believe in the long-term prospects. They have the KLTs. If you're new to this channel, the KLTs mean you got to know the company, like the company, and trust the company. So if you don't have this feeling about this stock, then it may not be for you. Also, anyone who's doing any short-term trades or swing trades, there's definitely some opportunities here for you. And hey, it's up to you whether you want to take advantage of it or not. Hope you guys found this video helpful, and we'll talk soon.